If every time you get your paycheck you think, and then you think, oh man, I actually have no idea what to really do with this, then stick around where I'm gonna walk you through the 5 questions you gotta ask yourself every time you get paid. Payday is here and I just got a crispy new $1,800 paycheck. So I'm gonna put on a pot of coffee or some city pipe water from the tap, don't think too hard about where that comes from, and pull up my trusty spending plan in YNAB. Now, you can see I've been living out of this budget for a long time. I've been spending out of it all month. Some of it's funded, some of it's not, some of it's somewhere in the middle. This is called a living, breathing budget, people. She's messy, but she's beautiful. And just as a side note, the day I'm filming this is the 5th. I add my paychecks to YNAB as soon as I get them. There's no waiting for the first of the month. And as you're gonna see, we're not even gonna worry about using this one paycheck to fund the whole month at once, because with this paycheck, I literally couldn't even. In fact, some of this money will go into the current month, while some I might even put into the next month. So if you're still living in the spending plan is the 1st through the 31st box, that's an outdated box. I'm kind of surprised they even have those boxes still. So the very first question I'm gonna ask myself when I get a new paycheck, what does this money need to do for me before I get paid again? We call this addressing reality. We're just worrying about this paycheck and what expenses need to be paid before we receive the next paycheck, which by the way, for me, won't be until the 20th. You're bound to have a few bills due or a grocery run to make before the next paycheck arrives, so I'm gonna scan my spending plan for those have to fund it or else things gonna get real sticky kinds of expenses. Looks like of my bills, that's electricity, natural gas, and my phone bill, about $250 altogether. I'm also gonna fill up half my gas for the month and some dining out just in case, the next 2 weeks of groceries, it's about time to pick up that next bag of dog food, and I'll fund about half our childcare and the 2 subscriptions I have coming up due before the 20th. Already, my $1,800 paycheck was cut down to just under $600. That was quick, y'all. And that's why we always start with that pivotal first question. What does this money need to do for me before I'm paid again? Because these were all 100% non-negotiable expenses. And imagine if I took that shiny $1,800 and thought, hey, that's a lot of money, let's go get the car detailed. Now, okay, a car detailing isn't a bad thing. In fact, we're actually really super in need of one right now. But it certainly isn't as important as making sure all my next bills are covered and our bellies can stay full. It feels good to know that the most essential bases are fully covered first, and as a bonus, now I know what money I truly have left to work with for all these other categories without compromising on our most essential expenses. The next question I'm gonna ask myself is all about creating stability for ourselves. What large or less frequent spending do I need to prepare for? Our expenses are more than just our monthly bills, right? The deodorant and shampoo's gotta be restocked every few months, and eventually the dog's gonna need at least a checkup. Tucking money away for these down the road expenses now means when they do pop up, I can just say, oh yeah, categorize the haircut to the haircut category I've been building up, and not, hey honey, where are the scissors? So I'm probably gonna throw some money in personal care and household items, haircuts and hospitality. Diapers are running a little low. We need a little for the vet and a couple days at doggy daycare with how cold it's been here lately. I'll catch the holidays with my next paycheck. And right now, I really wanna make sure to get some money in home emergencies and car insurance. Some of these savings categories, I'm just not gonna worry about for now because they already have a fair amount of money in them and I'm feeling pretty secure. And others we'll tackle with my husband's paycheck next week, which I forgot about his, even better. Now with about $160 left, I feel good about how we've stabilized a bit of our future. The next question we always want to ask when divvying out our paycheck is, what can I set aside for next month's spending? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of obsessed with this question. It's my favorite. It just gives me so much peace of mind to know that I can have this month's expenses covered while also prepping for next month's spending too, which just makes funding next month so much easier. And then if next month is easier, then funding the month after that is even easier, and I love easy. This is how we make our spending plan a little more resilient. We're putting more of a buffer between us and the future, and we just have more breathing room knowing part of next month's expenses are already prepped for. And if you're nervous about what it would actually look like to put this month's money into next month, if this month ever gets too tight, guess what? I can just pull money back from the future and into the current month, problem solved. So I'm gonna go ahead and click into April. You can see we've already built some of our past paychecks into the future, so we've got a little mortgage covered, some other bills, and it looks like even some groceries and childcare too. Now, I'm gonna be honest, we do only have $160 left. Is it a bigger priority of mine to tuck some of this money into a future month right now? Or would I rather use this money right now for other things? Remember, every paycheck is different. We can make totally different decisions with each paycheck. So what do you want to do right now? Seeing as I've already gotten some bills covered and I still have a lot of gaps in the current month, I might just top off this internet bill, cover phone insurance and some of the next water bill, and just call that a day for future funding. Just a little sprinkle, but hey, any little bit you can tuck away into the future always helps. Now, if you find this question a little intimidating, how am I supposed to have money left over to build into the future when I can barely cover my own bills this month? Use your windfalls. When you get your tax refund in April, build half of that straight into the future. Rather than pouring all of your holiday bonus into your travel fund, what if you sent a good chunk of it toward the new year? And for those of us paid every other week, you know those glorious 3 paycheck months? Challenge yourself to stick that paycheck, or at least some of it, into the future. I mean, that's like the easiest hack right there. April me will be so delighted when I see that March me gave me a leg up on the start of the month. The point is, do what you can when you can, and one day you'll be waking up on the first of the month with a fully funded spending plan. On day one, unheard of, but absolutely life-changing. Now, with only $70 left, we come to the creation question. What goals, large or small, do I want to prioritize? This question is kind of where we get to aspire and dream. I mentioned getting a car detailing earlier, which is something I would never really work into a day-to-day spending plan. Not me, maybe you would, and that's fine. But it seems like every time we've hopped into our little HRV the past 6 months, we can't help but just be like, sheesh, this thing is a wreck. Dog hair, disc golf mud, baby snacks, sand. We don't even live by sand, okay? A one-time car detailing would be a treat. So I'm gonna finally take a step forward on this idea we've had for a long time and make a category for a full professional interior car cleaning. Could we do it ourselves? Yeah, technically. Do we want to? No. We can definitely survive a few more months in a dirty car, so I'm just gonna drop $50 in here to start, and we'll slowly trickle more money in here as we're able. And also, just worth saying, every paycheck, when you're walking through these questions, it's a good idea to ask yourself, what new goals might we have? Is there anything that you've talked about with your partner or thought on your own that you'd like to build into your spending plan? Because you don't have to drop money in there immediately. I add categories to our spending plan all the time, just as a way to track our dreams. Like in a past video, I mentioned getting a king-size bed. So I'm gonna stick it as a little category in our spending plan just so we remember that it's something we really wanna do. And the more I see it, the more I might be inclined to pop a little money in there one day. So don't stress about whether or not you have the money to fund every single fun thing you want to do right now. Just put a category in the spending plan. One day you might realize it wasn't as big of a dream as you thought and you'll take it out, but one day you might start dropping money in there. And hey, that's a great start. And here's where everything comes together and YNAB gets to do what YNAB does best. The final question I round out each payday with is, what changes do I need to make, if any? Here's the thing. When we fund our spending plan, we're always just making our best guess at what we'll need our money to do for us in the future. That's it. Just an educated guess. So sometimes, dare I say actually many of the times, that plan's gotta change as life rolls on and reveals how much it's actually gonna cost that month. And that's cool. The changing is what makes the plan work. It's when we don't make the changes that the whole plan falls apart. So I'm just gonna look back at my March spending plan and see if there are any dollars I wanna move around or any expenses I forgot to prepare for. Now, I actually have $20 left, which I'm just gonna choose to know myself right now and stick that right into stuff I forgot to budget for. Never hurts to have a little safety net, am I right? The one thing I see that I'd like to change, our toddler has been positively cooped up lately with all the snow we've been getting, and we all just need an escape. Please. There's actually a cat cafe here in town and our son is obsessed with cats, which might make for a great fun family outing for us all for his half birthday coming up? Yes, we do celebrate half birthdays around here. I just decided, just now. It's gonna be great. Traditions gotta start somewhere. Getting a 30-minute pass to the cat parlor is $10 a person, plus we'll want to include some money for drinks for mom and dad. After tip and taxes, we'll probably need a full $50 for that. Hey, the cats need what the cats need. I know I just funded our haircuts category earlier, but I don't think any of us are getting a haircut in the next month, so I'll move that $20 to fun and outings instead. Which means we're still gonna need $30 more from somewhere else in the spending plan. I might steal that from car repairs since there's decent money in there, and we literally just got a new car with a fresh inspection, so it's good, right? Right? And I feel like that's good. I feel good about what we have here so far. We'll slowly fill in the gaps with each new paycheck we get, so any categories we didn't get to fund this time will likely get funded next time, or the time after that. And if they don't, I'll just ask myself yet again, what changes do I need to make, if any? We live, we learn, we change, simple as that. When my husband's paycheck rolls in next week, we're gonna do this same thing again through the lens of next week's priorities. Then my next paycheck, same again, his next paycheck, we just... And this is all a very flexible thing. Some paychecks we may totally skip building money into the future altogether in order to put more towards things like holidays or travel. Other paychecks we might send bigger than usual chunks toward our goals, like our car detailing or a balance bike for our son. No matter what, we'll just keep asking over and over again, what's the next most important thing this money needs to do for us right now? And I promise these 5 questions will never steer you wrong. Thank you so much for joining me today for my little payday routine, and I will catch you in the next video. We're always just making our best guess at what we'll need our money to do for us in the future. No. I wear this vest a lot. You're welcome, Patagonia. You all welcome. Mango flavored electrolytes. Not really sure how I feel about it. Oh no, I just realized I don't have my ring. Nobody think too much of it. It's just in the shower. Whew. Okay. 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 Did I just say balance? A balance bike for our son? What? Improvise with skill.